Hello! In this video, I'm going to cover creating a subdomain and installing a WordPress template to create a calling card. A calling card is a quick and easy way to get started with BuffsCreate. It's like a landing page that links to all the places where you are already active online. For instance, if you already have a blog or a photo gallery, and to some social media sites that you use. Or a calling card can help you get started by creating a simple yet visually effective landing page while you develop your online identity. The first thing we will do is add a subdomain to our website. The easiest way to do this is to search for subdomain, select subdomain, and then we'll get to the add a subdomain page. For this one, we will add me, since we will be making a calling card. Press create. This will automatically make a subdomain, and you'll just need to give it a sec for it to work. Now, once the subdomain is made, you will not need to wait a few minutes before it pops up while you are installing an application. Once you are done, you can go back, and then you will see that your subdomain is listed at the bottom. The next step will be adding a new application. In order to add an application, we're going to go to All Applications, and we're going to be installing Dimension Calling Card. So let's just go ahead and search for Dimension. And then once you get to the application, you can click Install this application. There's a few things that we'll want to change here. So on domain, we're going to want to scroll to the bottom and look for the new subdomain that we created. You'll notice that we have these versions which don't have the HTTPS and these versions that do. Now, while you're making this, you may not have the HTTPS version yet. This is because when making a new subdomain, we need a new security certificate, and that takes some time to process. So if you don't have this, you might need to wait about 5 to 10 minutes. Having the HTTPS at the end means that your site has a security certificate and is thus more secure. So it's good to actually always use these. So let's go ahead and click on it. And then for here, we'll want to clear this because we're not going to need a directory since we have a subdomain. BuffsCreate auto-generates a username and password for you. But for Dimension Calling Card, we're going to need a login manually. So you want to change that to something that you'll be able to recognize. You also may want to change the title and the website tagline. You'll want to change these to something that is relevant to you. In my case, I would change the title to my name and the website tagline to maybe my position. And now once you're done with that, you can go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and click install. And voila, we have our website. So you can check out your website by going to the link that you decided, or you can just click here under your My Applications. So we can go ahead and click on it. We can see that this is what the default Dimension Card calling website is. We're going to want to change all this so that it reflects what you want your site to be rather than just the default images. So let's go ahead and go back to the My Applications tab in Applications. And then we can click this link to access the admin section. This is where you'll be able to log in with your username and password that we set before. You should be in the WordPress dashboard now, which is all that Dimension Calling Card really is another WordPress website. Now let's start changing the appearance of the website. So we're going to go ahead and go to Appearance, and then click Customize, Header Image, and then click Add New Images. Now there's no images that are in WordPress yet, so we're going to have to upload a new image. So let's go ahead and select a file and find a good image to use as a background. These are all the other default images that are in the website. You can also edit the images before you actually upload it by clicking the Edit Image button here. If you'd like to crop the image, just click and drag on the image where you would like to crop, and then click the Crop button, and then save that. Back at the Choose Image window, we can change the alt text, which you'll want to do so that screen readers are able to read the image. So type something that describes the image, When we select the image, we're also allowed to crop it here. We can go ahead and click crop, and the image in the background should change. Let's add another image for the logo. Let's go ahead and go back. We're going to go to dimension logos this time. And this image is going to change the image that's within this circle. We're going to click change image. We're going to go to upload image and upload a new file. Select file, and I have one just prepared right here. Click on that, give it some time to upload, and then we can change the alt text, headshot of self. And then we click choose image, and that'll change the logo. The next thing we'll do is change this front text right here. Mine might look a little different because I already changed it, but you should have whatever the default text was. We're going to go ahead and go back again so that we can see the main page of the customize. Go to dimension front text, and then we'll go change the custom quote. And we can change it to whatever we want. So we can change it to just something else, or change it to a quote. Or you can just delete it entirely and make it disappear. For now, I'll just leave it as what I had before. Once you're all done, you can go ahead and click publish here. It will save all the work that you've done, and now whatever you've saved will be shown to the front page. So you can go ahead and visit the front page by clicking the exit sign, and then hovering over your website's name and clicking visit site. And you'll be able to see the front page and all of the different things we've changed. Now, if you notice, the buttons below for me are a little different because I've already changed them. But we're going to go on now to change these buttons. So let's go ahead and click on this first one, which for you should be the About button. And then you'll see that at the bottom we can edit each individual page. So let's go ahead and edit them. Keep in mind, if you are customizing this page, changing the different images and things, this edit this button will actually not show up at the bottom. So here we're just going to go through and change all of this information. The first line is the title, so we're going to want to change that. For this page, I'm going to make it an About Me. All of this text is just example text, so we can just highlight everything and delete it. We're not going to need any of that. Instead, you'll want to write something, whatever your post is about. So in this case, I would just want to type about something about me. Down here, you'll find all the information about the buttons that you saw on the front page. So you'll want to change those. This bar changes the main button that you see right at the front. This Go button label is the button you saw at the bottom of the page after you opened it up. So if you want to link to another page to talk about more stuff, you can do that. In my case, I'll want to talk more about some of the work I've done. So maybe I'll say something like website to my works, and then I'll change that URL to a link to my website. At the bottom right, you'll see the featured image, which was the big image you saw right when you opened up the page. So we'll also want to change that. I'll change that to the photo, the headshot of myself, because this is a page about me. One other thing you can change after you're all done is the link. The link will stay as the same link from before, so you'll want to change that to something that is more relevant to this page. So I'll just type about me. And so now, after we're all done with that, we can click update. And then we can check out all of our changes by, again, going to the top left, hovering over your website title and clicking visit site. And as you can see, I changed it to about me and it changed down here. And the page all changed. And the website to my works is down here. That will go to whatever link that you want it to link to. Now, let's talk about the links down here. So by default, there are 4 different links, but we can change it to be as many as we want, and we can add more if we want it. But it is a little complicated. Basically, each of these are blog posts. So whenever you add a new blog post or delete a blog post, they'll pop up down here. You don't want to add too many since this is a calling card, so you don't want to overwhelm the users. But if you only want 1 or 2 links, we can change that by editing the blog posts. In order to do that, let's go back to our dashboard. And then once we're at our dashboard, we can go to posts over here. We can click on post, or we can click on all posts. And once we're on all posts, you can see that each of these are actually the links that are shown in the front of the page. So we have the About Me one that I just created, and these are the other default ones. So let's go to one of the other default ones and delete it. So we can mouse over it and click Edit if we want to change this instead of deleting it. And as you can see, the front box label is what it said in the front page. It said writing. Let's go back to all posts and just delete it. If we mouse over it, we can just click trash. And once it's in the trash can, if we go to our front page now, by hovering over the top left and clicking visit site, you can see that it got deleted from the menu. Let's go back to the dashboard and we can add a new page onto it. Let's go back to posts, and when you hover over post, you can see the add new button. Now from add new, you would fill out your post however you want. So maybe I want to add my resume here, so I'll fill this in with resume, and then resume information. Now if I leave the front box label blank, then it will just default to the title of my post. Otherwise, I can fill this in as my resume or whatever, and then publish it. And now once we publish it, we'll go back to the front page. And you can see my resume is now another thing that popped up. One thing you might want to change is these social media icons. These can link to different social medias such as Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever you'd like to link this to. So in order to link this, let's go to Customize and edit to this page. From here, press Menus and then Social Media. Now you can see the ones that are on the page are already listed here. We can go ahead and delete them by clicking Remove if we want to remove them. Let's go ahead and just remove all these. Instead, I want to add my LinkedIn. So let's click Add Item, Custom Link, and then my URL for LinkedIn. And then we fill this in. This text will not be viewable. Right now you see the text, but we'll change this into an icon. So we'll go ahead and click it open, and right here in CSS class, we'll want to change that to the icon. Now Dimension Calling Card uses Font Awesome for their icon. So we're gonna have to go to the Font Awesome website in order to get the information we need. So open up a new tab and go to fontawesome.com. And then we can search for icons up here. And let's search for a LinkedIn one. Now when we click on one of these, we'll see that it has some information up here. This is the information we need. All we need is this FA-LinkedIn part. We don't need any of this other part. So now that you know what it is, let's go back here and type in FA-LinkedIn. And as you can see, it changes to the icon. And that's everything you need to know about Dimension calling cards. You now know how to edit the images, the pages, and the text for your calling card. If you ever need more information or help, you can refer to the documentations link on the front page of BuffsCreate.